Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We're going to talk about Season
Stranger
4
Things.
finale, Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
let me begin first because there has been a lot of hype over Stranger Things.
mm-hmm.
I mean, ever since it came out, it was like a signature show for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So the first season came out in 2016, but for 6 years, I had never seen it. But because there was so much buzz around season 4, you recommended that you gave me a very strong recommendation that I should watch it because
Won-Jin got a thing
I'm an 80s movie fan.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie's Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm. He has a
I
poster.
love the Goonies. Yeah, all this. Yeah, I got all these posters here. So I decided to watch it, and I basically watched the entire seasons of Stranger Things in the span of 1 month.
Mm-hmm. He means all 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's right. From season 1 to season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say that it's a brilliant show. And I was asking myself, why didn't I watch this show? Yeah. Because it's so brilliant in every way.
Well, let's get into that. Season 1 was really good.
Yeah.
Season 1 was because how do we define original? Because everything is always a copy of something else, right? We recognize the 80 nostalgia thing or the past, even 90s, I guess, as the season goes by. But I think season 1 was especially good in that the combination of all those components made it like really original.
Yeah.
And then the actors were also fantastic. The child actors.
Yeah, the little kids.
The 11, the
my
Mike actor.
My favorite's gotta be, what's his name? Dustin.
Everyone's favorite is Dustin,
Dustin's
man.
My favorite. He's
Dustin without the
adorable.
collarbones. Dustin the smart ass. And then up to season 2, I felt like season 1 was Alien with a more homely, family feeling, and season 2 was Alien 2, basically, with all those. Oh, spoilers! Spoilers, major spoilers. If you have not watched until the end of season 4, please turn off this video. Anyway, but season 3, I think they went to the 90s and tried to do that Tyrannosaurus thing with the mind flayer taking form.
Yeah.
It kind of got a little slow though. But season 4, I'm just gonna say it, the first 7 episodes were so good, and then the finale was for me it was good.
Yeah, I mean, not as good as I expected, but yes, still recoverable.
They were but first of all, hats off to never being boring despite the crazy running time. The last episode was a 2 hour and 20 minutes.
That's right. It's basically a movie.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I was never bored, except maybe in the Will and the Will guy's part.
What's his name? Jonathan and Will.
Yeah, I didn't I'm gonna start with the gripes because I already love this show. I'm sure a lot of you do too. Will was kind of underwritten for me. He was such a major force in the first season.
We can see that Will was going through some emotional trouble in this season, but the writing didn't take enough time to dive into it, and I think the entire spotlight went too much to 11 and what's his name, and Mike. Yeah, and I think he says in one of the episodes he's basically like a third wheel.
I don't know. It was kind of odd. It was this meta moment where even his role in the season was kind of a third, not a third wheel, but almost like a fourth or sixth wheel. Where it was kind of a shame because I really liked this character. I wish, looking forward to season 5. We get to use his connection with Vecna again because he kind of senses him.
Yeah, he can sense it.
Yeah, because season 2 I liked it because he was the alarm guy, and then it functioned really well. I guess even the creators may be trying to figure out what role he should get, but that was the only weak part I sensed. But the other ones was great. I love the Freddy vibe from the Vecna guy.
That's right.
He's like
he also, you can clearly tell that there's this Freddy Krueger vibe going on from the fact that Vecna only has those long claws on one side of his arm.
Yeah, on the left hand.
Yeah, on the left hand, not the right one.
Yeah. That was an intentional thing, I think. And then he's like if Freddy Krueger had sex with what's that thing where what's that movie where like the pain thing takes you to the other world once you solve a puzzle, and it's the Celebrants, and then you turn into this like Matrix with a SM like mixed up like that character, like because he's this other dimension guy, and I think they could have made it even more cruel what he does. But it was plenty surprise for me.
Yeah, especially beginning from the first episode. When I saw what happened to Chrissy, I was like, what the fuck? Especially when her eyes get pushed in, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is some brutal shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is about Stranger Things. I guess it's because kids are here that whenever there's a violent scene, we're really surprised.
Yeah, that's right.
Like even more than the boys, because it's such a happy, comely.
These guys are like little kids.
Nice to each other.
I mean, they're teenagers, and I have I get this Goonies vibe.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they're gonna go on a treasure hunt, and something bad's gonna happen, but none of them are gonna get seriously hurt. But no. People get killed off in this show.
Yeah, Stranger Things is like Steven Spielberg and Stephen King novel had sex together, and that's what like brings Stranger Things, because it's like that Stephen King moment where there's a horror behind the town, and that town is like the world's unluckiest town ever.
Yeah, and after season 3, I gotta ask, it's like, why are they still living in Hawkins? Why don't they move?
They don't know what's going on. And then season 4 kind of answers that. It's the human element. Because Vecna was always the one behind it. Which, I gotta be honest, I didn't like. I was hoping the Mind Flayer was still the big boss.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, that Vecna in one moment was like Harry Potter. Like, oh my god, Tom Riddle was Voldemort? Yeah. That gave me a lot of the Harry Potter.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I do love the fact that the upside down, like it's kind of hinted that in reality it was a neutral zone. It wasn't like hostile.
Yeah.
Even the creatures, they're roaming around those guys.
They're just feeding.
Yeah. But like even the Mind Flayer, he's just a neutral creature, just somehow existing in that plane. But it was Vecna that molded them into these minions. So that kind of that raises the question for me. Like in season 5, is the Upside Down, let's say Vecna is defeated, right? Is the Upside Down going to turn back to this neutral world? That's going to be, I think, fascinating. Like, because when he arrives, the world is yellow, but his malicious intent turns it into red.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, what would be fascinating is I hope they do, since this is a movie about 80s and 90s nostalgia, I hope they pull up some sci-fi crazy stuff.
I hope they move on, because when the first season begins, you can tell that where they got these motivations, I mean not motivations, but these inspirations from. I think in the first season, we see, like you said, Alien, a 70s movie. But then you go on to season 2. Now I begin to see The Exorcist. You know, especially when Will is possessed by the Mind Flayer. And when after you move on to season 3, we can clearly tell that now it's headed towards the late 80s, because we see people coming out of the theaters after having watched Back to the Future and thinking it's the best movie ever, which it is. And
that's a nice homage.
Yeah, and that
the Jurassic Park moment.
Jurassic Park and Freddy Krueger and Harry Potter, Tom Riddle thing. Yeah, they're beginning to move into the 90s.
I think the Harry Potter stuff was unintentional though. Like, because here it's more serious, let's say. No offense to Harry Potter. But I do want it to go like X-File crazy. Like, since we saw the other world.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're not going to explain everything. The show is really good at like keeping enough mystery for us, but it did explain how Vecna like turned that world around. So my thing is, like, in season 5, there's definitely going to be a battle of worlds. But once Vecna is defeated, what happens to those face-hugging creatures? I do wonder if they're going to just turn back to neutral. And I'm hoping for a crazy ending where 11 becomes the queen of that world or something. Like, I don't know if this sounds too much, but because
that would finish off the 90s vibe with, you know, that Sarah Kerrigan vibe.
No, not just that, but like Snow White, like not the Snow White, but what's that novel? I forget. But think about it. If the world can be manipulated, 11 can manipulate the world to turn against Vecna. Like, it's about willpower, right? So Vecna can turn all these like bats or creatures or even the landscape into this hostile thing. So I assume 11 has the exact same power as he does, basically. Like, if her love and goodwill can turn that world into a paradise, like, that would be interesting. Like, 'cause I think they have to up the ante a lot in season 5.
Yeah, because we saw from previous seasons how difficult it is to close that gate, and now we saw what happened to Hawkins. The gate is like all over I mean, the size of the gate itself is so large that we can tell that 11 herself, she's not going to be able to close it.
So I do think like that opens a very interesting thing. Is this going to be like where the two worlds eventually converge, or is it going to get closed? But I think there will be a big tragedy though.
You know what I feel from the ending of season 4?
What?
You know, we talked about The Exorcist, Alien, and all these things. Now I see a lot of The Mist. Because remember, what happens in The Mist is they open the military experiment somehow opens the portal from another world, and these big ass creatures come to Earth.
Good movie.
Yeah, and also a good book.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking something similar is going to happen here this time. So now we're going to have like the army come and fight against these creatures, and there's probably a role that 11 needs to play in this fight.
See, that's why we put the title World of the Worlds, because that's a big theme in the 80s and 90s movie. Even like old novels like H.G. Wells, there were always these aliens coming out.
Yeah.
So here, like, we do expect an epic battle though.
And I'm thinking that Sullivan guy, the army guy, he's gonna join forces with 11 because now he sees that this is not just some like Soviet spy shit.
That's fascinating. It would be wonderful if the Russians joined in to help too, because it was kind of like a mini version of that where the pilot turns around. And that's such a 90s, like that's just a Spielberg movement though. Like,
so where's that man?
Yeah, everyone is so good at heart except the piece of shit Vecna. Like, the bad guy deserves to die, you know. And animals are neutral. Remember Jaws or like Keanu Reeves? They didn't do nothing. They're just really scary. But they're not bad, you know. Here, like, but I do get a hint of that, though. I do want Vecna to lose the power, and what fascinates me about is like those creatures, what they will do. But the thing is, the weird thing is, like, is one like immortal? Like it's curious. Like, I do wonder. Like, I don't want them to explain everything, but I do want to explain his like. Physiology of sort, like how he's functioning. Yeah, because basically it's not a hive mind. Everything is just his mind. Because those creatures, they I don't think they have like free will. Like, because like it was a short scene, but when Henry arrives, the creature is just roaming around, and even the mind flaying thing is just there.
Yeah, it's just there.
It's not doing anything. So I do want some answers to those things, which is fascinating.
I don't know. I think I have this feeling that Vecna isn't defeated yet, and I think there's a strong hint that Max might become the next villain.
What?
Yeah, because remember, 11 goes inside her mind, it's completely empty, which kind of hints that maybe she's unconscious or maybe like brain dead at the moment.
No, I think Vecna is in there somewhere.
Yeah, and she's gonna be possessed by Vecna. Yeah,
that's a good possibility. Yeah, I think maybe she will become a vessel. Maybe that was a possibility, but I didn't think she will become a villain herself. Like, I do think Vecna.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Not the villain, but like you said, a vessel.
Yeah. Because
just like Will in season 2.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Max is a very attractive thing for Vecna because he obviously enjoys pain, but Max is really strong, so it kind of prolongs it a little. Because his obsession to 11 comes from the fact that 11 can resist him. You know, because everybody folds, but 11 is like every time Henry underestimates 11, Henry gets his ass kicked. So, but that scene was so good when 11 is tied up and Max, my friend. I like
all those like flashes of the good times with Max.
Yeah. No, but I wanted to say this to 11. Don't just do this. Do this. Like, why aren't you crushing him to like pieces? But I think maybe like after getting sprayed in shotgun, I do wonder if Vecna needs his own body, even though, like, if he's completely integrated with the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't need the body.
And we need to remember that particle thing in Soviet Russia. They what's her name? Jim and what was her character's name? Winona Ryder.
I don't remember. It's Winona Ryder. Yeah.
But anyways, they presumed that the particle went inside the creatures. But I'm thinking maybe it's somewhere else.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's still floating around somewhere.
Oh, what I assumed that's like a piece of mind flayer. What I assumed is that Vecna needs that mind flayer material to control these creatures, and every one of them have a little bit of that inside them. That's what I assumed, and that's just part of the mind flayer. Remember, mind flayer is like mind flayer is like a hybrid thing. It's like partly vapor, partly heart like a
solid.
Yeah. But it goes in, and then you are controlled by it. Because I think that's the explanation. And what's important is Vecna controls the mind flaying thing. You know what that also gave me a lot of vibes of? Prometheus.
Oh, that's true.
You know, because the thing is, Vecna, aka Henry, aka One, isn't as original as he thinks he is. Just like in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, just like the cyborg there, you already found something that's amazing. You didn't actually like create it.
That's right.
You know, so it also gave me that sadness thing, like where the Satan assumes that he's as great as God, but it was God who created everything. Satan can do with what God made, but he can't do anything else. So, I mean, he made a great discovery, yeah. That's why I keep bringing up 11 can manipulate it too, because it seems that everything in the Upside Down is actually neutral. It depends on who's running it. And what would be interesting is, like, if there's a war scene in season 5, like if 11 can do this and like free the creatures, because I think she can free that. She can purge that out and then use them against Vecna. Even that would be fascinating.
Or just like One used the mind flayer to extract 11's power, maybe they will do the same thing to One.
What do you
He's
mean?
Still there. Because remember how 11 lost her powers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she got bitten by the mind flayer, and that little disgusting monster thing was inside her leg. And just like that, One extracted her power out of. One extracted 11's power out of her. So maybe they will somehow figure out a way to do that to One.
No, but like this season kind of showed that, despite that, the power is always in there. It's innate. I don't think it's something that can be completely erased or something. But I do wonder the limits of Vecna's power, though, because this season clearly showed his limits. He's not Freddy Krueger. He has a physical form at the other dimension that can be hurt with shotguns and hats off to what's her name, Nancy. Nancy just with a sawed-off shotgun.
You know, that was some Linda Hamilton moment.
Oh yeah. No,
badass,
like the facial expression.
Shotgun.
You threaten me?
Fuck you.
F you. Like these kids are just watching. So that was definitely like.
Oh, and man, rest in peace, Eddie.
Oh my
Eddie
God.
was a great character in this season.
Oh, that would make me so
really
sad.
liked him. Yeah.
Like, hey, like that brings me up. there's a similarity between this and The Boys. Like, why can't one of the main characters die? Like, why does it have to Eddie, the new character that I'm interested in? Like, I honestly thought one of them might die. Like, I knew Nancy wouldn't die, but maybe Brian. Or, okay, you can't kill the kids, so I guess that explains it. I guess it's like the Spielberg thing where if you go to the bathroom and you're a POS character, you die. But if you're part of the main crew, you don't die.
You're gonna survive.
Yeah, the Tyrannosaurus can breathe next to you, but the Rex will smell the plot armor. Okay, she's the main character. I can't eat her. I can't eat the kid.
Untouchable.
Let's go kill the other guy. Yeah. No, but it was still good. The standout for me was Max. Like, the actress was so good. I don't know how old she is.
Yeah, ever since she first came into the show, I thought she was brilliant.
I know. I mean, and I gotta be honest, like, I might get criticized for this, but I feel like the acting on the kid actor's part was a little fluctuating. Like, I feel like my character should be more written better. Like, because Mike was interesting in season 1 and 2, but I wish they added more dimension to him instead of this. Everything
insecure.
I love 11.
Teenage boy.
Like the lines. I feel like Will was a better actor.
Yeah, that's true.
But the problem is Will didn't get any better lines. And I mean, I'm not blaming the actor. That Mike actor, he's good. I wish there was more like maturity. Because Max is the most mature one of them all. Shut the fuck up, she says.
I also like the monologues that she had.
Oh yeah.
When she was talking. When she was pouring her heart out about Billy, I thought that was a really good line. Like
when she's trying to get into Vecna, right? She was good. And then the standout for me was the Nancy, Brian, and Max. Like in terms of like, and then it's not the actor's fault. Like
hold on, who's Brian? You mean Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Oh, okay.
The guy who's always...
Because I was just keep wondering. It's like, wait a minute. There was a character named Brian?
I'm sorry. Steve, the guy who was always hanging out with Dustin, my little brother, hair gel. I'm sorry. But I felt like those three were like the most well-written ones. Like, they had an arc. But I also feel sorry for Winona Ryder's other child.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, like...
Yeah, in this season, he just gets high all the time.
Like,
so what happened to him?
Like, yeah, I feel like he was underwritten a little. Like that his friend who's getting high, that he was more interesting than him. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, like the comic relief guy.
That Cheech and Chong character.
Yeah. No, he was more interesting. I feel like...
Surf's up, my dude.
I loved his pizza line. I really did. He was really entertaining. Oh! And I also loved every scene with Murray.
That's right. I love Murray.
Man, that
I
actor,
loved him in every season.
The comedic timing. I'm pretty sure he kind of ad-libbed some of those lines.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's not just the comic relief, but he's also super intelligent
and competent.
He sees straight through people.
I know.
And you know, that first happens to Steve and Nancy, and then it happens to Jim and what's her name, Winona Ryder, and they all get upset about it. It's like, what the hell does he know? But he's spot on.
I know. And then my favorite scene in this season was him actually doing karate. Like, he's actually good at it. And then he warns them about KGB, which is all true. And then like the finale was so wonderful. I love the fact that he was the one with the flamethrower. Die, mongrels! Die! And the Russian prison scenes were actually overall very interesting.
Yeah.
One weakness, though, is that actor who plays the
Russian guard.
Oh, yeah.
The guy we saw from Game of Thrones.
No, the actor is fantastic, except I think you told me this before. Like, his Russian is like...
I'm not convinced that he's Russian. That Yuri guy, I think he pulled it off better. But I don't know. It just didn't... He just didn't feel Russian.
And I feel like he was too handsome to be a prison guard. I was like, be a model, man. Like, what you doing here? Is it that bad over here? You're really good looking. So, but overall, I also love the sword fight scene. Because up to season, like, episode 8, before episode 8, I was like, how are they all gonna meet together? But they somehow made it work beautifully. I love the piggyback on a pizza dough refrigerator, whatever.
And I also love, how all these events happen in different places at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And the things they go through, they always have a parallel with each other. That's what I liked about the show.
But they've been good at that since prior season too. I mean, this show is, I think the Duftin brothers, is it? They're so good at making a lot of things into this cohesive story. I mean, it's amazing what they can do.
And I also love how these kids always somehow find an Dungeons and Dragons analogy to match what's going on.
No, but that's so brilliant though. Like, cause it wakes up
because Vecna, one is not his name is not Vecna. It's just what they call.
The mind flayer
from the Dungeons and Dragons.
But I was hoping the mind flayer was actually the OG boss though, because
but we never know, because we know that Vecna's now gone, but there might be a greater force.
No, I think Vecna is coming back though. I felt like he's not dead. I think Vecna is gonna come out into a stronger form or something. I guess one thing that could be interesting is he merges with the mind flayer itself. Because he's controlling that from the distance. But what if he integrates all that power? What happens to him?
Oh, and another thing I liked about was the Nina project and the flashbacks of 11. Because remember, the season began with the massacre at Hawkins Lab, but we have no idea who did it and what was actually going on. But after going through all those flashbacks, we eventually figure out what's been going on. And I also like that repetitive dream sequence that she was having.
Actually, that was a better climax for me than the finale. Like that surprise, that Henry actor, he killed it.
Absolutely. I don't know where they got him from, but he just killed that role.
Like when he does that evil eye thing, I was like, okay, I'm scared.
There's no reason to be scared anymore, 11. And then when he unleashes his power, that's the first time that we're surprised.
No, and his eye acting was crazy. I don't know if they do makeup or some shit, but his eyes are red and he does 11. And I was like, damn, don't please. You're obviously you need psychiatric help. Like his acting was so good, and I think he was the guy in the Vecna suit too.
Yeah,
like he's the same actor. The way they talk is the same. He was just so good. And then the way they set it up is so good, because I love the CCTV that are analog. Yeah. And then they had to use that to project the Nina thing. That was such a good detail.
They had all those video cassettes.
That was so good. But come on, but be real though. We knew that 11 didn't kill those people the moment the episode 1 started.
I don't know. I was actually questioning myself.
Really?
Did she really do it?
Nah, because I was like...
And was she shut off from all that? Because we get a hint that she lashes out when she's under tremendous pressure and stress. We've seen it from the first season when she kills those guards. The guards. And also, remember, she bashes that girl's face with a roller skate. So I was thinking, okay, maybe she actually did it, but because it's such a traumatizing and horrible memory, that maybe she's completely sealed it off somewhere inside her head. And maybe that Nina project was like trying to embrace that pain and trauma, just like what we saw in WandaVision.
No, but
yeah,
I had a difference. The moment I saw that, I knew it was like a fake, because you show that you're like, what the hell happened here? But I didn't think 11 would go that far. And massacring a room full of children is different from roller skating someone in the face or killing the guards in self-defense. So I don't know. I didn't think that. But I didn't expect the Henry character. I did not expect...
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
I didn't know...
I thought he was just being abused by, what's his name, Papa. I had no idea that he was also like a...
They did add a very interesting dimension to Papa, though. Is Papa completely evil? I don't think so.
I think Won himself put it best. That
he's a mediocre man.
He's a mediocre man who tried to become great through us. That's what he was basically saying.
Well, I think it's more complicated than that, because obviously Henry resented him.
And I like the fact that even before his dying, even in front of his dying breath, 11 never forgives him.
No, I felt it was more ambiguous than that, though. It was a victory on Eleven's part, not saying that what he wanted to say, but it's basically a fuck you to every evil scientist character in the 80s and 90s movie. Like,
I like the fact that he was shot by one of those soldiers.
Why, man?
Because he was being hunted.
Okay, yeah. Like
that's one thing I'm satisfied about.
Those helicopter guys were very competent until they made a kid that can crush them with their hands, which is probably unexpected, right? Yeah. I don't know though. I feel like the military operation was a little over the top though.
Yeah.
I feel like
wondering, it's like, is that even sanctioned?
Yeah, I was just like,
because remember those the research personnel, aren't they also part of the NSA? Aren't they also government?
Yeah.
And they would just like straight up kill them?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It felt like Black Ops stuff that was completely unsanctioned.
Yeah. And I like the fact that 11 destroyed that helicopter using her powers, because that gave me a lot of Magneto vibe.
Yeah, 11 powers are very, very diverse, isn't it? Like, she's been...
So she's basically Jean Grey and Professor Xavier put together.
But she can't shoot lasers, though.
But who shoots?
Jean Grey can shoot that power beam. Remember?
Oh, that's true.
Like she just straight up can like blow you apart. But like she 11 can manipulate matters around her, but I don't think she can actually like project the power beam. Because even in season 3 or 2, she closes the door, but she's closing what already exists. Oh, and the surprisingly violent scene was when that high school captain guy get ripped apart in half when the gate opens.
Right. That was a shock, because I mean, yes, he was a piece of work, but I don't think he deserved that ending. I don't think he deserved that, because I mean, in his defense, he was trying to bring justice to Chrissy.
Yeah.
And the Chrissy that he had known all along would never do drugs. I mean, I understand him, but yeah, that was brutal when he gets what exactly happened? Did his like torso get burned?
Yeah, the gate opens through him and then it rips him apart.
Yeah,
and he dies screaming.
No,
but I feel like Soldier Boy should get that. Like, what? This kid, yeah, like when Luke calls him a psychopath, I guess he is. But aren't you guys too young to be called all that? I mean,
yes, he pulled a gun on the kid, so yes, that he went a little too far, but that was a little too much.
Yo, those things get forgiven in movies all the time. But
but if you think about it, I mean, there were even worse deaths. Remember what happened in season 3? Heather, the lifeguard, she gets turned into that little blob and gets absorbed by the physical form of the mind flayer.
Right.
I thought that was disgusting.
No, a lot of them do. Like,
yeah, a lot of that happened to a lot of them.
Right, you're right. No, but it was a nice detail. It was a nice detail. But overall, very strong season. Very, very strong season. I always the benefits of keeping the show long is a lot of minor characters get to shine, except if you're Will or Nancy's ex or current boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. I don't know.
Oh, and let's talk about Jim, because Jim being in prison. Remember, he was he was quite on the chubby side in the previous seasons, but we can clearly tell that he lost a lot of weight in this season.
He looked fit as hell.
Yeah, and it's really convincing that he had been in prison for a long time.
Yeah. No, the actor's fantastic in everything he does. And then I love how like he tried to escape, because that was some brilliant writing though. Like, I didn't know he was gonna break his leg. I thought he was always gonna break his chain.
Yeah. So I was thinking, because all the guards, they check if the chain is intact. So I was wondering, if you break the chain, then how exactly are you gonna make that escape? Because you're gonna get caught.
And then he breaks his leg. And then I also felt sorry for some of the Russian soldiers though. Was it episode 8 when their commander says, "Don't shoot. That's a valuable government property." And then the the beast roars and the guy shoot, right? I was like, hell yeah, I'm shooting that fucker. I don't give a fuck if he's like discovered. It's like 1,000,001 creature.
It's about to eat me.
Yeah, I'm killing that.
And I got a gun in my hand. I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, fuck you, Commander. I don't want to die.
And I like the fact that the monster first charges straight to the commander.
he had it coming, that guy. Being an a-hole for so long. So.
And remember, we can tell from his previous dialogues that he enjoyed watching those prisoners get eaten by the monster.
Right. I mean, yeah. I don't know, but hey, one thing though, like, don't you think that Russians get overplayed as villain in like every TV episode now?
I think that is exactly what makes this more 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that happened with every 80s Top Gun. I mean, I recently watched the second movie, but remember the first one?
Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo.
Well, not Rambo. I mean, Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky 3, the Soviet dude.
I guess it's part of that nostalgia, right? I guess it is. And then they did add good-hearted Russians in there too.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to make it fair.
And I love the part where Jim escapes for the first time and gets into that church and he eats that peanut butter.
Oh yeah, peanut butter. Which character also loved peanut butter in what movie? Oh, there was this one movie I forget.
But that scene reminded me of this movie called The Pianist, played by Adrian Brody, that Polish pianist. And when, he almost gets killed by that Nazi officer, but he was so brilliant that playing the piano, the officer hides him in the house, and one day he brings him this bread and this jam. And in the moment Adrian Brody puts that jam in his mouth, and you can tell that he's in heaven that moment. I saw the same thing when Jim shoved that peanut butter in his mouth.
Oh yeah. Like there's a lot of food thing from the 80s movie too, right? Like spoon and peanut butter and sake on it. A lot of those things too. Anyway, what's your overall thought on season 4?
Honestly, I thought the entire series was going to end in season 4.
Oh yeah,
that was my expectation. But I was surprised at the ending that they now have an even bigger gate open, and like you said, this is now going to be some War of the Worlds stuff. So I'm quite surprised, and overall, I enjoyed watching this show, especially up until episode 6 and 7, I think. What was the one where we first find out that one was actually Vecna?
Episode 7.
Oh, okay.
The part 1 is cut off.
Yeah, so that part was straight up awesome. But then the last 2 episodes, I thought they were, of course they were entertaining. But compared to the cliffhanger at episode 7, I think it was a little underwhelming. Just a little.
I was surprised at how much build-up they were doing with episode 8, though.
Yeah.
I felt like it was going to go boom, 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 boom. But I guess they wanted the payoff to be big, though.
One thing I liked was the twist they have with the escape of Jim. Because I thought Jim was going to be able to escape quite, as planned. And they're going to have that dramatic
meeting scene.
But the way they twisted his escape into something even more difficult, that part I really liked.
But I did appreciate Eddie's sacrifice, though.
Yeah,
that kind of sold everything for me.
And also, as a big fan of Metallica, like that heavy metal shit he pulled on the top of that trailer home. Yeah, that was awesome. And Master of Puppets, that's like the perfect song for that confrontation with Vecna, because in a sense, Vecna himself is the Master of Puppets there.
Right. I love this Dustin too, like his heartfelt moment, Dustin, and I love Dustin meeting his uncle and telling what a hero Eddie is. That was like the best. Other ones were okay, but that one was the really moving part. The other,
because he really sold it. The fact that he really knew what kind of person Eddie was, and he was there at the last moment with him.
Yeah, I didn't like the part where Mike told Eleven to you have heart and get the power thing. Too much for me, because I I felt they should have had. I don't know. You know what part of that is? It's been so long since season 1, 2, 3 came out that I kind of forgot about it, and I had to rewatch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it was like
that was not the case for me because I watched seasons 1 through 4 in the matter of months. So it might have been a little difficult for people to be reminded of what actually happened. Oh, and what's her name? Susie. I love the Susie character.
Really?
The genius girl. And how they had to like sneak up to her father's office to use the computer.
Yeah,
that I really like because we see a lot of that computer whiz stuff in the 80s movies.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense yet. No, they don't have the internet to have everything connected, but somehow they figure out a way.
Does he call Dustin Dusty Bunny or something? Yeah, I like her storytelling method too. My father, and then like what inevitably happened to me, like this weird third person thing. So that was really good. The actress was really good.
Yeah. And yes, I really liked what Dustin said to Eddie's uncle.
I would put season 4. This is my ranking in terms of seasons. Season 1 is top. Season 2 is second. Then it's season 4. I still feel season 3 is the weakest because I felt season 3 like I think they ran out a lot of ideas, a lot of things were interesting, sure, but remember like it becomes repetitious when it's always Otherworld trying to get at you. But here it's still the same thing, except there's a human part to the other story that we can like actually target and sympathize. So I think that's what made this so interesting because they put a face on the villain, so to speak. Because season 1 and 2, the mystery itself is just terrifying.
Yeah, it just feels like something supernatural.
But here it's supernatural yet very, very humanoid, and we find out later it's a human being, and then men's greatest enemy is men. So that, I really like that topic a lot.
I would have a different ranking. For me, 1 and 2, yes. Ranks first and second, but I would put season 3 before 4.
Really?
Because I actually liked season 3, and 1, it's because of that encounter with the Soviets that made everything super interesting. Without the Soviet secret base beneath the shopping mall, it would have been a lot more boring.
Whoa! But I'm sorry to cut you off, but same reasoning. But season 3, the only saving grace was the ice cream shop and the Russian-based plotline for me. And
I also like the focus on Billy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what... And Mrs. Wheeler. Man, she was hot. Mrs. Wheeler.
No, it was okay, but like, okay. For season 3, for me, like the Russian plot and Steve and Dustin... And Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Yeah, Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
I forgot her character's name in the show.
I keep referring to the actress name. And then them. And then Billy's plot line was really good. But I felt like 11 and Mike's like romance was already played out. I felt like there was a need of an update or something. Maybe 11 gets a new boyfriend or something. But season 4 just brought the whole new fresh take because I just love the introduction of actually like a Dracula kind of villain. Like, if a villain is like a human entity, you kind of relate to it more.
And I mean, another reason why I like season 3 was the way the Mind Flayer the Mind Flayer entraps the human mind. It reminded me of all those old one of those old sci-fi movies called The Invasion of Body Snatchers. Yeah, remember that?
A lot of people know that. Yes.
So that there was a strong vibe of that movie there. And I also, although some people don't like it, I actually like that the shopping mall fight with the Mind Flayer, the physical form of the Mind Flayer.
I liked it. I just imagined Mind Flayer to be bigger. I didn't like the small form. Like that was a little disappointing to me because like, you're the size of about 10 grizzly bears. You're not gonna rule the world, man. Like a missile can fucking fry you to bits. I was expecting more of a, like a colossal alien just walking over cities, like just
like what we saw from what's that old Cloverfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Godzilla. It was just this little. I mean, not little, but come on, man. We live in an age of kaijus and Godzilla fighting real moth in live action.
It still had the potential to grow bigger because it absorbs human body and also rats and stuff. Yeah. So it had the potential to grow bigger, and I'm pretty sure they were limited on budget. So
no,
that's probably the best they could do.
No, but CG was still good. Like it really looked fleshy. Yeah, I felt it. I just was kind of like underwhelmed by it because I felt like me personally. I felt like it was a season 2.5, an extension of that Mind Flayer plot. Because I did like season 2 where like the plants start dying.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there was just like
there was that mystery.
Yeah, more of a horror and a little bit of action mixed in. But season 3, when that thing started running after a truck, I was not horrified at all. I was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's just for me.
Oh, and season 3 is when we start to see Erica play a big role.
Right. But season 4, I like the fact that Vecna is also someone who has physical power, yes, but his is more of a is like a mind thing. Like I think that's just more terrifying overall. Once the Mind Flayer starts chasing around, like you remember the awesome scene in like the finale of season 2 when the camera with the ominous music rolls down and the Mind Flayer is just watching Hawkins from the other dimension. I was like, oh fuck! Imagine that guy arriving in this world, except it's just this blob of flesh jumping around.
This big piece of lard.
Yeah, I mean, no offense. I was just not scared.
I mean, still, it was terrifying. You know, when it was when like the little version of the Mind Flayer thing was chasing Nancy and what was it, Jonathan in the hospital. That was still quite terrifying.
Yes.
When it like disintegrates and seeps seeps like beneath the door. Yeah, that was quite terrifying.
I did feel like Mind Flayer was an idiot after season 3. Like, if you can bring those creatures, why not just open a little hole and then gather 1,000 of them in the bushes and then jump at once?
Thank God they're not that strategic. But we never know; things might change in season 5.
Yeah, I guess they have to do the big scale thing now, like zombie of the world thing with all those face creatures. I do want to see new creatures though.
Yeah,
I did like the bats in season 4.
Oh yes,
because finally we get a new like
eating you out.
Yeah, finally we get a new creature. So I would like a creature that is like a, I don't know. Since Vecna is such a hybrid, I do want to see like a monster and machine hybrid thing. Like that would be really like that's 80s, man.
Yeah, like a RoboCop 5.
Yeah.
But with a monster.
Yeah.
Terminator RoboCop thing. It's gotta
anything
be
cyborg from the 80s will be awesome. Because come on, man, you can like manipulate flesh. Why not mend these monsters with like 80s style like Terminator guns or Total Recall style like 4-tit monsters. Like I want something crazy. You know, like if Vecna, like if you're trying to make the world beautiful, why not make your monsters even more horrifying, just like yourself, with your one little claw?
Yeah, it learns the technology from Earthlings and
yeah. I mean, he is human. Like the paradox of Vecna is that he hates human beings, yet everything he does is human. The clock rings forth. Everything he says is like there's always a lie in there somewhere, where you become you say you hate it, but everything you do is about clock, human beings. So that's a good irony in there. And he's so arrogant that he tells you his plan right away. It's not like every villain's like fall. like no, but like if I was Vecna and then I'm just like licking my wounds, right? I'll be like thinking about how to best kill 11 now. Like you realize that like the 11 is so funny to me because Vecna has this grand plan, right? 11 goes into water tank, comes back. And then just that years of planning just crumbles. Like fuck you.
Flushed down the toilet.
Because I have love and heart. Boom. And Vecna's like, shit. I was an explorer watching the world.
Yeah, but that's the stuff we see from 80s cartoons.
I know, man. Like that's the beauty of it.
Care
right?
Bears, anybody?
Dun, 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 dun. Some disco style music. The music choices was awesome as always. Awesome as always. So I would actually back to like season 1 for me was 10 out of 10, which is like amazing. And then like season 4, I would give it a 7.5.
Okay, that's fair. 7.5.
Which is like good awesome. Good awesome or good.
So I would give 10 out of 10 for both seasons 1 and 2.
Oh shit, that's generous.
Yeah, because I also really like season 2. But with season 3, I would give it an 8.
No, okay, that's solid.
An 8.
Oh, I see what's
Solid
coming.
one.
Season 4.
Yeah, season 4, I think I would give it about the same.
Okay.
8. Yeah, I
8.
would give it an 8.
Almost.
But if I
8 for me.
have to choose between the two, yeah, it's difficult.
No, but that-
I really like season 3.
No, but that being said, not to sound unfair, it's really hard for shows to be this consistently good up to season 4. So I do respect that a lot. I mean, there were just so many brilliant things. Even at this stage, so many twists that we did not see come in.
Hats off to the writers. The Duffer Brothers.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our take on Stranger Things Season 4. If you like our video, please press like and subscribe. If you want us to review or talk about any movie or TV drama, please
leave
let
it in
us
the
know.
comments.
I don't know when, but we will be talking about Thor's latest movie and potentially a Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, and I think Better Call Saul's coming soon.
Oh, it's dropping. Oh, man, the part 2 is dropping. Anyway, a lot of TV shows to look for. Thank God for the pandemic ending. Hope you all have a great weekend. I was Joe.
I was Won-Jin.
And see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.